welcome you to the homecoming football game between the Midland Chemics and the Davison Cardinals here on a beautiful October Friday night. My name is Caleb Frank, joined by Frank Altsmore, and coming into this game, we thought the weather was going to play a role, but it looks like there's no rain in the sky, so that might play how the teams have been preparing.
At 5:30, I never thought we'd have this. It was a absolutely awful downpour, which would have been a difficult game to play for both teams. So we're looking forward to a great night. The turf looks good. I was watching warm-ups, and it looked like everybody was in control. So we're lucky. We're lucky. I can remember when this field would have been a swamp.
Yeah, both teams coming in, Midland at 2-4, Davison at 3-3, and something we talked about before, in Davison's 3 wins, they're against teams, 0 combined wins. The 3 teams they've lost to, 0 combined losses. So something that usually doesn't happen with a football team.
No, and with Davison, what the interesting thing is when they got beat, they got seriously beat. It was a 35-40 point differential. When they beat the other teams, they seriously beat up on them, a 35-40 point differential. This is the first team that they would have played that has won some ball games and has lost some ball games. So it's a good crossover battle tonight.
This Davison team last week against Arthur Hill won 63-0, so just like you talked about.
Well, Arthur Hill's a combination of Saginaw and Arthur Hill. The 2 schools have banded together. They have not won a game. They've been mercied every week. That's a very difficult situation over there. Unfortunately, they're not on our schedule. You know, that's you'd like to every once in a while have a game like that. Midland has had the toughest of the schedules with Mount Pleasant, Bay City Western, Lapeer, and now Davison. That's a very difficult road to hoe.
Yeah, we're moments away from opening kickoff. You saw it was a whiteout for the Midland student section. It's homecoming. Many of the cheerleaders, they were preparing for rain. It has been raining pretty much off and on all day. When I arrived at the field, it was raining, but now it's clear as day as you see the Davison football team getting ready to enter the field. And you mentioned it kind of before. There are a lot, and they look big. They look like they're ready to go.
They have an interesting spread on their team. They have 2 9th graders, 6 10th graders, 37 11th graders, and 23 12th graders. That's a large junior class, and we're talking you have 40 underclassmen on your roster. That's impressive for the future. Now, sometimes when you play good teams, you need seniors to win for you.
Yeah, the Cardinals just ran onto the field, entering now the Midland Chemics, who they struggled last week, didn't they?
Well, struggle is putting it mildly. They got stomped, 54-8, and Bay City Western has put up phenomenal numbers all year, and this is unique to Bay City Western because everybody would beat up on Bay City Western for the past probably 10 years, and all of a sudden now they have a pretty good team. But let me say this, they have a good coach, and what he's decided to do is to go back to his roots and run the football.
Well, it's homecoming night. We are going to throw it down to the field for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have Frank's keys to the game and then opening kickoff. That was the national anthem as both teams making their way towards the sideline. Earlier at the coin toss, Davison won and elected to receive. But before we get into the action, toss it over to Frank. Let's hear some keys of the game for both teams.
Well, let's start off with Midland, which I think is very important. And the deal here, number one, is recovery. How well are you going to recover from the worst loss in the history of your school at 54-8? Now, Midland prides itself on its defense. It prides itself on its ability to run the football. And last week, they just didn't have it. Now, Western is a good football team. We'll see how well they recover tonight. For them to win, I think they need to hog the ball. Keep the ball out of the hands of Davison. Run the ball down the field. Short, effective passes. And Midland High needs to improve on their hidden yardage. Better kickoff returns, better punt returns, better coverages. Let's go to Davison. Davison needs to slow down Midland's offense. Cannot allow Barry to connect to his very talented receivers. I put this up earlier when it was raining, and no turnovers because I thought the weather was going to be a factor. I don't think it's going to be, but still turnovers are going to be effective tonight. And I think Davison, to win, needs to score early in both halves.
Well, the opening kickoff, we'll take a look at those keys throughout the game. Cameron Freeman of Davison takes the return, makes one man miss, but then a herd of Chemics tackle him at around the 25-yard line. So Davison and that offense will get things underway on the first possession of the game.
All right, better coverage there. That's what I'm talking about, that hidden yardage. Don't give up yardage on kickoffs and punts. And that was much better than what they've done in the past.
When we assumed it was going to be a rain-heavy game, we talked about how important the running game and field possession was. Now that it's clear, we'll see if those teams are preparing to run the ball or will they open up the air attack. So Davison starts in shotgun, two receivers to their left. Talked about the quarterback for Davison, Braylon Himmelin, has a running back to his left. Here's the snap. A play action, throws it to the wide receiver, Tion Armstrong, and he's wrapped up quickly. A gain of about 5, and will set up second and medium.
I think we're going to see a lot of that tonight. Davison wants to attack Midland's man defense, man-to-man secondary defense, and that's how they're going to do it. Short, quick turnouts.
Tion Armstrong with the reception, a junior, number 5. He plays that slot receiver. They are in the same formation as Jalen Flowers is that running back. Sort of behind him, a little motion. 2nd and 4. Again, the snap. This time he hands it off to Flowers, and he has room to the right side. Stiff arms and gets dragged out of bounds by Jason Davenport, and there is a first down run for Flowers and the Cardinals.
That was a powerful run. He got to the corner and was able to stretch the defense out, and really he almost broke it.
Davison,
good runner.
Davison flipping, as we'll take a look at that replay once again.
Now, watch here in this corner, right here, where they're able to seal it down and make a good run. See how they got the corner there?
And here's another run. Flowers has room in front of him, gets around, and he is going to stay in bounds, and he gets knocked out of bounds. Actually, finally goes out of bounds. The refs are going to say he stepped out at around the 13-yard line, but back-to-back runs for Flowers has the Cardinals in the red zone.
Uh-oh. Okay, here we go again. This is right up to shoot. Easy play. Give it to Flowers. Let him go right in there. You got the beauty of this play is that it's a guard tackle pool. And that's going to give Midland's down linemen some trouble.
Same formation, a bad snap, but gets the hands off. This time to A.J. Hill, the freshman running back. And this one not as exciting as the last two runs. Gain of about 2 will set up 2nd and 8.
Colin Coffey made a good play on that number 51, the middle linebacker. And the first time they got to him on the block. This time he held it to a 3-yard gain. So
Flowers had 2 runs of significant yardage. Davison electing to go with that backup running back, A.J. Hill. They also have Gabe Smith as more of a fullback. And then once again, 2 wide receivers to the left. They've thrown it once and have ran it 3 times. 2nd and 8 in shotgun. Here's the snap, hands it off to A.J. Hill right up the middle, gets a few more yards, and it will set up a 3rd and short in the red zone.
I look at Davison's front line. They are doing a very good job of blocking. And that H-back that gets in there, when he comes around the corner, he's making some serious blocks.
It is a 3rd and 5 for Davison. How will this bend but don't break mentality? Midland has given up some big runs, but they have an opportunity right here to maybe hold Davison to 3, and it's a very important 3rd down early in the first quarter. Here's the snap. Hands it off to A.J. Hill again, and it's going to be close. We'll see if he ended up getting it. He still was able to get a 1st down. And it looks like he's going to be just short. It's going to be 4th and has to be less than a yard.
4th and short.
And at first glance, it appears that Davison is going to stay on the field. 4th and inches. And this, you talked about it. How was Davison going to be able to do early in both halves? Well,
Score early.
Score early. Here's an opportunity.
You knew it when they said we like to receive, that they're an offensive team.
4th and short. Hill in the backfield. Actually, it's Flowers, and he is met in the backfield, breaks a tackle, but is swarmed by 2 Chemics, and a big 4th down stop for Midland. They're going to take over possession. No points for the Cardinals.
That was a great play by Greg Malace. They were able to stunt through and get in there, and we'll probably take a look at that for a second.
But until then, a great stop and great momentum for the Midland Chemics. And let's take a look at that one more time.
Here comes the replay right in here. See how he came off the corner and made a great play. And, of course, that just jams it right up.
And it was set up by Nick Kruger, even though he didn't make the tackle, forcing Flowers to sort of bounce to the outside. And there were 2 more Chemics to get there. And a huge turn of events as now Midland will take over 1st and 10 from their own 9-yard line. The first play is a quarterback run, and he gets a couple of yards. That quarterback for Midland, number 19, Drew Berry. And you were telling me before, the stats might not show it, but he is a very good quarterback for this Chemic team.
Very good quarterback. He throws a beautiful pass. His passes all have tone on them, which means they don't wobble. They just spin and they're very easy to catch. Now, it was interesting. Davison had all 11 people within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. They knew Midland was not going to throw down in here. This is I'm impressed with Davison. First time I've seen him this year.
Different formation for Midland now in the shotgun, and there's actually going to be a penalty, and it's actually going to be on Davison. So they were backed up. It was 2nd and 8 at the 10-yard line. And the left side of the defense is going to get called, and that sets things up. Maybe give Midland some breathing room, opens up the playbook a little bit more now at your 15-yard line.
Really, just like enough room for your punter to get out of there.
And this is where hidden yardage, like you talked about earlier, becomes a factor. We'll see as this 2nd and short Berry in the shotgun. They actually do a little reverse, and Davison is all over it. It was Jason Davenport who got the sort of end around, and he loses some yards and will set up a 3rd and long.
Well, Davison was in the backfield. That was a very difficult opportunity to run for Davenport.
It will now set up a 3rd down and about 6 as Drew Berry will maybe show off the arm, or we'll see if Midland is just okay with running it and then punting it deep. But the 3rd straight play where Davison has all 11 guys up, and they are coming. Here's the snap, a play action, has a man wide open. Here's the throw, it's caught by Davenport. Actually, no, dropped, and he had Green in front of him. Was probably going to be a touchdown,
well,
and it sets up 4th down.
I can guarantee it's going to be a touchdown because nobody's going to catch Davenport. And how he dropped that ball, I don't know, because it was well thrown, maybe just a little behind him, but still a big play lost. See, you can't lose good big plays against good teams. That was well designed. Midland came out in a tight formation. Davenport runs down straight out of the chute, and there it is.
It will set up 4th.
Now, Midland does not have enough guys on the field.
Some confusion maybe as here is somebody, number 60, running on. That's Caden McPhillips, the starting defensive lineman, running on. And there is a flag, and that's the second flag for Davison. And will that make it a first down?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be close.
Well, we'll have to wait. If it does, that is a big play. But going back, Jason Davenport, it was a great play call. A little bit of a play action as we'll send it to the field and see what the penalty is.
Encroachment, number 34 defense.
It is a first down.
5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
So because it was 4th and 5 and the 5-yard encroachment penalty, that sets up a first down for Midland, and they catch a huge break as now maybe they can move the ball a little bit more, as they had Davison sort of fooled a little bit. Davison brought an all-out blitz on that third down. They kind of slipped Davenport out, and if he caught it, he'd be in the end zone right now, but instead a 1st and 10 for the Chemics. A handoff, and there is just no running room as he actually is going to fall forward and get a few yards. Jalen Brown, the starting running back for the Chemics, and he gets about 3-4 yards and sets up a second down.
Second and 6.
Brown is the second leading rusher. He's got 219 yards on the year, and he's a good runner, but Davison's pretty well jammed up in the middle.
So something is going to have to give. Either Midland is going to have to sort of have an aerial attack to get that sort of defense off, or if you're Midland, you get a run that more breaks free. Barry in shotgun. A little read option, and Barry's going to keep it. Barry the leading rusher, but once again, nothing happening, and now a third down and sizable. I don't think he got any, so a third down and 5.
Okay, so first and second down, we've seen 10 people within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage, 1 safety deep. This is going to be the first decent third and long. Let's see if Davison decides to maybe play a little softer.
Well, on the last third down, they blitzed almost everyone and almost got costed for it, so we'll see if there is an adjustment made. The same formation as Midland. Barry in shotgun, but no receivers out. Here's the snap, a little toss, and just nowhere to go. It was Zachary Papadakis and Gabe Smith who combined got into the backfield, and it will be a punt. So after a 4th down penalty by Davison, really, Midland gets 2 extra yards now up to the 20, and we'll take a look at that great defensive play.
Okay, so now we get this edge coming off here, doing a pretty good job. Midland's going to run their famous pitch, and we're going to see that it's not going to be good enough. See what happened right there? The tackle does not get out around the corner.
Here is the punt. A good punt, actually, is fair caught at the 47-yard line by Cameron Freeman. So each team has had possession once. Neither team has scored. So, Frank, the last time Davison ran right down the field, they got a little stuck. What adjustments can Midland make after watching just all running?
I was surprised that Davison took out Flowers. He had run so well early, and then he when they got down inside the 20-yard line, he disappeared until the last play when they were able to stop him.
So Davison.
So this is going to be interesting here as to what Davison's going to attempt to do.
So Flowers is the lone running back. Have 1 receiver left, 3 receivers right in this shotgun. No tight ends or anything else, but Flowers in the backfield. Here's the snap. Back to pass. Throws it to a wide open receiver. It's caught, and he just runs over the defender. That was Henry Karstoffen III, and that will be a 2nd and short. It's a 2nd and 1, gain of 9. He was wide open in the flat, turned upfield. It was a one-on-one. He ran him over and picked up a few extra yards, and it will be a 2nd and 1, as it looks like might have an injury as number 7.
Ethan Stewart, right tackle, came off the field, and he's one of their better offensive linemen and one of their larger offensive linemen.
Both of the runs were ran to the right. You see Flowers going to the right side, probably if it's a run coming towards the left side. It will be a pass. Here's a throw caught again by Karstoffen III, and it is wrapped up by Jason Davenport, but it will be a first down for Davison. So the first drive for Davison was all run. Now back-to-back passes for the Cardinals.
Well, you can see what they're doing. They're, again, forcing Midland's defenders to back off and then turning around and catching the football. And we've had some good passes. When they were in the 3 wide formation, they ran 2 off and 1 to the flat.
So trips right, one receiver to the left. Flowers in the game on his right side. In the shotgun is Himalayan. Here's the snap, looks to his right, throws a screen. It's caught, makes one Chemic miss, comes back to the middle of the field and is wrapped up for a gain of 3. Tion Armstrong on the screen, and the Chemics were really all over that, a gain of only 3.
You see, that was a very popular play for a lot of years. But what's happened is defensive coaches have caught up with it, and linebackers have recognized what's going to happen.
And we'll see
Watch
this replay.
out here on the corner. We're going to throw that little bubble screen in here, but watch the flow from the linebackers to get to it. See how they bust through there and slow it up, and there's another one there.
So 2nd and 7 for the Cardinals. Another pass, drop back, throws on the slant, and it's a great breakup by Midland, number 8, Zion Douglas, and that was a great defensive play by Douglas.
It certainly was. Certainly was.
He got there at the right time, too.
As close to interference as you could get.
A second, maybe a half step earlier, and we'll see how close was Douglas from it being pass interference.
There's the slant. Yeah, that's a good call.
So 3rd and decent, 3rd and 7, trips right, one receiver to the left. Flowers still in the backfield on Himalayan's right. Drops back to pass. He's going to throw it to Flowers, wide open out of the backfield, and he has room in front. One man to beat is Douglas. He slide steps, breaks another tackle, and Jalen Flowers didn't get his touchdown from the run, but a receiving touchdown for Flowers, and Davison gets on the board first.
How about that? That was a beautifully conceived play. Halfback out of the backfield. Linebacker's got to have that guy. If he's on your side, he's mine. And he came out of the backfield. The linebacker pressured the quarterback. Nobody in the flat. Nobody to cover him. Touchdown.
So Davison gets on the board first. It was a 3rd down, and like you said, Flowers wide open. We will get the point after. It'll be a lefty kicker for Davison, and we'll see if they can make it a 7-0 ball game. A high snap, but a good job by the hold, and it's going to be no good, and so the score will remain 6-0. Have to imagine that high snap maybe played a factor,
Definitely.
But the touchdown nonetheless.
All right, here comes the touchdown. Now let's watch on this play as Flowers comes ruling out of the backfield. There's a throw right there, and there's nobody in that area. And he's got some giddy up to him, but he's also got some power. Broke 2 tackles right there, 3 tackles.
So a great play call, and it worked to perfection, was wide open. Then he made a couple of guys miss on his way to the end zone. So with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left, the Chemics are down 6-0. Frank, what do you want to see from Midland's offense on this second possession?
I want to see Barry throw the ball to both Brown and Davenport. It doesn't have to be bombs, but enough to keep the ball moving down the field. What must happen here is you've got to flip this field a little bit. Even if you don't get a first down, you can't give the ball to Davison at midfield. They're going to score. Flowers is just a difficult project out there. Somebody's got a key on Flowers, and that's what I'd be saying on the sideline. I said, take a look. Somebody's got to have number 1.
You want to make the other guys on the team beat you, not Flowers. You've already seen what he can do from the ground and the receiving game. Here is the kickoff. Booted high in the air. Davenport gets it off of a bounce, cuts it back to the middle of the field, has a little bit of space, and he is going to get tackled at around the 32-yard line. So already much farther than they had on their first possession, and maybe they can use this field possession to, if they don't score, at least flip the field somewhat.
I was glad to see that. That was good kickoff return. We can see that they do not kick the ball deep. They can't. I mean, he may have a 30-yard kickoff range. So therefore, get ready for that idea.
A similar formation as we saw in the first possession. Drew Barry in the shotgun. Brown to his right. A quarterback keeper Actually gets through the center of the field, and he's off to the 50. One man to beat, and actually two Cardinals. It's going to be Yahya Dukali, but Barry right up the middle, and a big, just flipping the field exactly, a long run for the Chemics.
That was a beautiful run by Barry. And what we have, and as you'll see in this replay, watch what we have coming here in through here. There go the two poolers, and there's the lead back up there. Barry reads it. 25 is on roller skates for Davison. Good blocking. And again, the speed of Davison's DBs brought Barry down.
Hands it off to the running back, gets towards the center, and he will get about 3 yards. If you looked at that last replay, there were 5 or 6 Cardinals in the backfield, but it didn't matter because Barry was already gone. So if you have this aggressive team running it up the middle, those kind of gadget plays are going to work out for your team. The second run, hands it off to the running back, gets a gain of 3, setting up 2nd and 7.
Well, I really like the blocking scheme there. Right? That allows Barry to find a hole, take care of it.
So Barry in the shotgun, Brown to his right. Here's the snap, another keeper for Barry. Tried the similar thing, but Davison was right there for it. Actually, he might have lost a yard, and it's going to set up a 3rd down.
That was the same play that they ran for the long yardage. That time, the defensive tackle on the right closed right down and cleaned it up.
So Davison, a little bit of in-drive adjustment, setting up a 3rd and 7. Now you might see Barry drop back and pass. He did it on the first 3rd down. On the second 3rd down, he ran it. So we'll see what happens. 3rd and 7 as we near the end of the first quarter.
Well, we're definitely in 4-down territory, and Midland is not going to kick a field goal. So you're probably going to see what we saw before, a little bit of slip out by the tight end. There
he drops back to pass, has a lot of trouble, gets a throw off, and it's actually going to be intercepted by Yahya Dukali, who saved the touchdown, and this time flips possession, a underthrown ball by Barry. He was under pressure, and a big interception by Dukali, and Davison will start with the ball.
Well, as we can see, we're going to have him, come on out, make a play, but here's the pressure off on this corner. And it's going to give him see how he's going to make his feet move. And now he's throwing off his back foot, and instead of that nice smooth pass that he usually has, he didn't get it.
That was Zachary Papadakis who was able to get that pressure, force Barry to his right side, causing the interception. So Davison will take over as Flowers is in the game. He scored that touchdown, and he gets the handoff on 1st and 10, bounces to the outside, will not go down. So it is he got probably an inch, still going to be 2nd and 10, but the ability for Flowers to make the first person miss.
Wow, that should have been a loss. He was able to get it back to the line of scrimmage and fall forward.
It's one of those where a 1-yard gain is pretty good considering he was basically tackled 3-4 yards in the backfield. He was able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
That was a very good job by the Midland right side of their defensive line.
So under a minute remaining in this quarter number 1, Davison got the interception at their own 16-yard line. Here's the snap, hands it out to Flowers, who bounces to the right side, and he is going to go down in the backfield. A tackle for loss for the Midland Chemics, setting up a 3rd and about 11.
Now that was the same play that opened up the game, where they ran to the perimeter with Flowers. He was able to turn it into a 50-yard gain.
And you see
here, much better performance by the perimeter of the Midland defense.
And Flowers limping off, had his helmet off, so not sure exactly what happened. He'll get some attention, but now it's a 3rd and 12. This could be, more than likely, is going to be the last play of the first quarter. We'll see if Davison, they can just let it run. The play clock and the game clock basically equal, so we'll see if Davison does. They don't have much time, and they're just going to let it run down the end of the first quarter. Davison leads 6-0. Frank, what did you see from both teams in that first quarter?
Well, I see Midland adjusting to the speed. You know, this is the thing. As the game goes on, you learn to adjust to what the other team is doing. Midland is now adjusted to the speed of of Flowers and even the quarterback, the quickness that he gets the ball off. Now, what surprised me was that Davison is still playing 10 people within arm's length of each other on the line of scrimmage, and Midland has not attacked it. They've tried to attack it. They got an interception out of it, and a wide open touchdown dropped. So in the first quarter, Davison gets the edge because they got the touchdown. But Midland, I see Midland progressively getting better on defense. And if they get better on defense and there are no turnovers on offense, then they're going to move right along.
Something to keep of note, we saw in the pregame, Midland's leading tackler, Merrick Hocking, is not playing. He was in a boot on his left foot. We'll see maybe if on those first couple possessions that was playing. Their best defender at linebacker, we saw on that touchdown, the linebacker, if he was there, that's a different play.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens if Midland can get off the field on this 3rd and 12. We've seen Davison work with the short passing and in the running, so we'll see what they are able to do. A.J. Hill is in the game, as on the last play, Flowers sort of limping off the field. So Hill is on. He's on the left side. 2 receivers to the left. They have one kind of like a fullback, that is Gabe Smith, but it is Himalayan in the shotgun. Has a wide field to the left. He snaps it, a low snap, picks it up, throws it to Hill, and it is deflected by Jalen Brown, and that's going to be a 4th and long. He say beautiful. What did Brown do so well?
Brown recognized the halfback coming out of the backfield, picked him, just like we said before. Somebody's got to be on that tailback. And they put Brown on the tailback. He caught him coming out, and we'll see it over here. And we'll see the tailback coming out of the backfield, and Brown's going to pick him up right in here. Right there, he picked him up, and there you go. Beautiful job of defense.
So great play by Brown, sets up a 4th and 12.
Now, this is going to be good because the kicker is on his goal line. So if he kicks it 50 yards, you're going to get the ball on your side, ready to go.
Hidden yardage.
And hidden yardage.
That is what you talked about.
Very important in this game.
And there is a flag on the play thrown from the back, and it's going to be probably a delay of game, which helps Midland even more. So Davenport was standing on his 48-yard line, and he's going to get a couple of steps forward, and now it sets up more beautifully. So now where the punter was on the goal line, now he's in the middle of the end zone. It's his blockers in front of him, which are standing on the goal line, a 4th and 17 from the 8-yard line.
All right, this is what I call the test, because you got to get down and cover. There's the kick, and again, just like I said, he's going to get the ball inside the 40-yard line, and now your team is going to be tested.
So it goes out of bounds at the 41-yard line, as that's where Midland will set up their offense, and we will see. We've had the same sort of bunch formation. They keep everyone close, and that allows Davison to keep things close. We've had some runs. Right now, Barry is 0 for 2. He has an interception and a dropped pass that would have been a touchdown.
So this is where I said earlier in the game, where you have to hog the ball. You have to say to yourself, we're going to get 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Not worry about anything because we're in 4-down territory.
So setting up the same offense, Barry in the shotgun, Brown to his right. Here's the snap, rolling to his right, has a wide open receiver. It's caught, and he gets about 5 yards. That's Hudson Gerstacker, the tight end for Midland. He kind of slipped out of that backfield and moving the line. You have Davison putting 10, 11 guys in the block. A great play call by Midland to get out of that and get an easy 5 yards.
2nd and 4, that's exactly what you want to have. That was a good first down call. And Davison doesn't make the tackle. If Davison's linebacker doesn't make the tackle, that ball's going to be run down to the 20.
2nd and 4. Barry, the quarterback keeper, goes right under center, and he's probably going to get a yard. It's going to set up a 3rd and 3, but it is, like you said, really 4-down territory, so you have 2 chances to get that first down, 3rd and 3 for the Chemics.
Now remember, Barry is 6'5", If he falls forward, he's going to get 2 yards. He does nothing else. So this is going to be Barry carrying the ball. Same play, double. I would say guard tackle or guard H-back pulling in front of him.
So he has Jalen Brown to his right. And recognizing how important this call is, we are going to get a timeout from Midland. 6-0, your Cardinals lead. 11 minutes remaining in this first half. How important is this third down play, or even this drive in general?
This drive is important because you need to get on the board. You can't get stopped and allow Davison to get the ball back. You're going to flip the field. You know that. Even if you don't do anything, you're going to give them the ball maybe somewhere